So please put your hands together for the biblical character Job.
Here he is. Good to meet you, Job.
Everything is pain. Hi, everybody. I'm Job, like from the Bible. I'm an old friend of God's. Yeah, me and God used to get back into some stuff back in the day. Let me tell you, I'd be out in the field watching my sheep and horses, and then God would come over and, kill all of them. And I'd be like, good one, God. Or I'd be sitting down to dinner with my family, and I'd be like, dear God, please bless this meal. And then instead of doing that, he'd kill my whole family, like all of them. And I'd be like, you got me again, God. Fool me once, shame on me. But you know me, I can't complain, life is good. Just gotta keep reminding myself that God works in mysterious ways, And sometimes those ways involve, your house being destroyed for no reason, or instead of getting one disease, you get all the diseases. Or when you get pubic lice, but in your beard, which I didn't even know was possible, but then I remember, through God, all things are possible. Even having pubic lice in your beard. Praise the Lord. All of my friends are like, Job, why do you still like this God guy? I mean, look at what he's done to you. And I'm like, listen, guys, God is a really great guy. You just don't know him like I do. He only hurts me because he loves me. And then they're like, but Job, you're covered in sores and bruises. And I'm like, what, these sores and bruises? I just fell down the stairs. It's nothing. I just fell down some stairs. Me and my whole family and all of my animals and property and possessions, we all just fell down a whole mess of stairs. It's all part of God's plan, all part of God's real mysterious, real complicated plan. The kind of plan where when it's happening around you and you're in the middle of it, you don't see all the pieces moving, but then when it comes together, you can step back and say, wow, that was a great plan. It's like Ocean's 11, But instead of George Clooney, it's God. And instead of taking everything from a casino, it's God taking everything from you. Maybe that's a bad analogy. Just gotta wait and see. Just going through a little rough patch here, though. Things will get better soon. I mean, it's not like this whole thing is a lie, right? Of course it's not a lie, right? I sure hope it's not a lie. I sure hope God isn't just up in heaven letting bad things happen to me as some part of, manipulative bet with the devil to prove some point about human nature, like my life is some kind of weird cosmic version of Trading Places. I mean, I'm not Dan Aykroyd. I mean, I definitely know if I was Dan Aykroyd, right? And this was all Trading Places, right? God, are you there, God? I need to know if all this bad stuff is happening because you're Trading Places-ing me. Hello? Hello, God?
Hi. You've reached God. I'm not available to answer your prayer at the moment, but if you leave your name and number at the light and light a candle at the beep, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Probably in the form of some subtle, ambiguous sign that you're not sure of, but we'll just have to assume is me. Thanks. Beep.
He never picks up. I don't know why I can't get God to talk to me ever. He talked to Moses as a bush, right? Remember that? That was crazy. But remember what Moses was doing when he was talking to that bush? Yeah, he was fleeing Egypt because he just straight up murdered a guy. Oh, and God was like, I better turn into a bush and talk to this guy. Wow, right? If I could be a fly on the bush in that conversation, huh? I bet God was all like, why did you kill that guy? And Moses was all like, you haven't made the 10 Commandments yet, so murder's still cool. And God's like, you got me there, Moses. I guess I better give you those sometime soon. Must be nice, right? God giving you stuff instead of taking it away. Speaking of taking stuff, I read the rest of the Bible. I think Judas got a bad rap. I mean, he betrayed Jesus, but like if he hadn't betrayed Jesus, then Jesus wouldn't have been captured and crucified, you know? And without the crucifixion, you don't get the resurrection. And without the resurrection, you don't get Christianity. So like really, like Judas was a key part of God's plan, you know? Like God needed Judas to betray Jesus. I mean, sure, after he did his part, he felt really bad about it and went and killed himself or went to the ninth circle of hell to be chewed at the devil's mouth for all eternity. But you know, you want to make an omelet, you got to break a few eggs, right? And then damn those eggs' souls to eternal torture in hell, even though they did exactly what you needed them to. It doesn't seem fair to us, but just remember, Ocean's 11, you know. Of course he did it because God needed him to. He didn't do it for the money. 30 pieces of silver, that's not worth it. I can go to the mall and get you 30 pieces of silver from Claire's for like $10. It's not even like Jesus was all that great for that guy. A lot of people think even Jesus like slept around, you know, like slept with Mary Magdalene, the prostitute. I don't judge though. I mean, it would finally give us an answer to the question, what would Jesus do, you know? Plus, I guess it's a lot better than using his hand, although he did have those big old holes in his hands. Right? If Jesus fucked Mary Magdalene, it's like God played a literal game of fuck, marry, kill with Jesus. He let him fuck Mary and then he killed him. Do you guys think that when the Virgin Mary was about to give birth to Jesus and her water broke, just like a bunch of wine came out of her? That'd be pretty cool. She had to give birth to Jesus in a stable around a bunch of dirty animals because they didn't have any room at the hotel. It makes for a good story, but like, I don't know, maybe instead of a hotel room, like you could have been looking for a hospital. Or maybe they wanted to do a home birth. I don't know. I'm not a doula. I try to keep the faith. Lord knows I try, but bad stuff just keeps happening. Jesus? Jesus, remember that one time when I was walking across the beach and then you turn around and there was one set of footprints in the sand? Remember that? That was when you took my shoes and disappeared. And then I had to run across all that hot sand without any shoes on. I can't stay mad at him, though. Everything he does to me. I just remember all the things he taught us and said in the Bible. He told us that you have to have the faith of a mustard seed. And what that means is you have to have the same amount of faith as an inanimate object. No, not an inanimate object. You have to trust that if you were ground up, you'd taste really good on a hot dog. No. You have to have faith that if you're ground up, it still makes good mustard, but it costs more at Whole Foods. Yeah, like how you are right now. Like even if you're a bad person, right? If you have enough faith, you're good enough to cost like a lot of money at Whole Foods. It doesn't make sense now, but like Ocean's 11, they made 3 of them. Inception even. That was technically a heist movie. Thank you. Thank you. I've been Joe.
Oh my gosh!
Guys, that was the biblical figure Job. Bare Knuckle Comedy.